Hi there, Paul here from Charity Hub. In this video, I want to show you just how easy it is to use Charity Hub's native Microsoft Teams integration to communicate and collaborate with your colleagues from directly within Charity Hub itself. Here I am in Charity Hub, and I'm looking at Abby's contact record. What I'm going to show you works against any record type in Charity Hub, but for today's example, we're going to work with the contact record. Now, Abby has been making more and more frequent one-off donations, but we'd like to see if we can convert her into a regular donor or even sign her up to a membership. The one thing I notice about Abby is that my colleague Dan is responsible for her as a contact within our charity. So what I want to do is reach out to Dan to see if he has any more background on Abby. Now, normally I'd switch applications and move into Microsoft Teams, but instead what I'm going to do is click the chat button at the top of the screen here. Immediately, this pulls out the Teams chat panel. I can see here all of the other chats that I've got going on with Microsoft Teams, but directly within Charity Hub. So what I can do now is I can start a new connected chat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type Dan into this search box. So I can search for Dan. There's Dan. You'll notice I can also search for other contacts as well if I want to have a conversation with multiple contacts. Let's just leave it as Dan for now. What I can also do is I can include a note here. So we can type a message into there. We'll also notice the system's pulling out some other information there to post as part of this message directly from Abby's contact record. We can customize this from a system point of view, but for now this is just the default it pulls through. It's also going to change the chat name to Abby so Dan knows what we're talking about here. All I do now is I click Start Chat, and you'll notice a chat window immediately flies out there asking Dan the question. So as Dan starts to type his response there, I can immediately see in real time, just as I can in Microsoft Teams, that Dan is typing a response. So now I can see Dan has responded, and I can see his response directly within Charity Hub in this chat window. But let me just reply to Dan. So I'm now having this conversation back and forwards directly with Dan from within Charity Hub itself. And obviously the beauty of this is as well, this is directly linked to Abby's contact record as well. So the next time I come back to Abby's contact record or the next time somebody else comes back to Abby's contact record, I can see that chat history directly there against the record. Just to highlight, this chat and this conversation is consistent across the whole Microsoft Teams experience. So I don't just have to be in Charity Hub to receive these messages. If I just switch to the Microsoft Teams interface, we'll notice here in Teams, I have a new chat started there, and you can see we've got the entire conversation trail here as well, just as I was in Charity Hub. This is consistent whether I'm on the mobile app, the web interface, or the Teams desktop app. Back in Charity Hub, I don't have to just start connected chats. I can also have normal Teams chats as well, directly with my colleagues. For example, we have Spencer here. So if I double click on Spencer, I can pick up where I left off with the chat with Spencer. I can message him directly, and I've got full access to the entire Teams chat window experience. We can put emojis in there, we've got GIFs in there as well. Additionally, I can minimize these chat windows, I can close the Teams tab over here, and I can navigate around Charity Hub as I wish. All the while, these tabs are there at the bottom, so I can recall them and start the conversation again at any point as I move through the application. So thanks for watching. I hope that's been useful and gives you a good overview of how we can embed Microsoft Teams directly within Charity Hub. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us.